looking at our goals for the program. The number one goal we'll have is to beat Green Bay.
And it comes up early in the Chicago Bears schedule, week 2, as the Packers take the field on a glorious Sunday, sold out as usual for this long-time storied rivalry. There is no better scene than the Packers and the Bears at Lambeau Field. Ferguson, driver, and the tight end, Bubba Franks, is straight ahead to Amon Green, who had a career-high 33 carries in the victory over Carolina on Monday, gets 7 yards on first down. And the Chicago Bears defense, Ron Rivera is the coordinator there, and there you see the rookie Thomas Harris starting at defensive tackle. Adewale Ogunleye, acquired from Miami, is also on the line.
And in the Lovie Smith scheme, Lance Briggs, the will linebacker, is a playmaker, but he's got one of the best in the business in the middle, and Brian Urlacher.
And there's the secondary, the swing pass on second down to Amon Green, and he will be stopped short of the 40-yard line. No gain, and Mike Green, the strong safety, making the tackle. And we showed you the Bears secondary, and of course very strong at the safety position in Mike Brown and Mike Green, and R.W. McQuarter starting at cornerback despite an ankle injury this week on top of his longtime hamstring problem. So with no gain, it'll be third down. 3 yards to go.
This is an area that Green Bay excelled at versus Carolina last Monday night.
Showing the blitz, but not coming, and here is Brett Favre with a keeper, or Amon Green, and Green into Chicago territory. Brett Favre was the blocker, so he can still do everything at age 35, and Mike Green prevents a bigger gain after a 26-yard pickup.
And that's what this offense poses as a problem to the defense. They will run or throw on first down. The Bears have everybody walked up into the middle, and a great play call by Tom Rosley. And there's Brett Favre trying to get a block on Mike Brown right there. And Tony mentioned he's into this game. He's loose, and you can see right there, the first series, Brett Favre having a little fun today.
And Amon Green coming off another 100-yard game. This time Tony Fisher carries, and Fisher gets a first down to the 25. Najee Davenport was injured in the opener, won't play today, but Fisher can catch and run, and he runs for 12 on first down.
And that's going to be a concern to Lovie Smith right now. The one thing he felt they had to do was come out and shut the running game down. He knows how good Brett Favre is at quarterback and what he's done in this rivalry between the Bears and the Packers. But his concern was not letting Amon Green and Tony Fisher get on a good roll early in the game.
And Mike Sherman, with a lot of respect for Fisher, undrafted rookie from Notre Dame last year, and the quick pass to Ferguson. And the Bears are right there, and a small gain of only 3 yards on the play, bringing up a second down. Lovie Smith, and in the pregame show, Moose talked about how Lovie got it done against this Packard team when he was with Tampa Bay and then later St. Louis. Of course, he had different personnel there as well.
Yeah, it's going to take him a while. It's new to these guys, but coming here, I think when you talk about Tommy Harris, everybody's very excited about him. Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher, and then Mike Brown and Mike Green as their safeties, and those are the key components in the style of defense that Lovie has implemented.
Second down and 8, and movement, a penalty marker down, and here is Favre, and this time he is carrying the ball, and Favre goes out of bounds, will pick up the first down. If the penalty is against the Bears, it'll be declined. We saw a Chicago lineman jump. The question is, was he drawn off?
Offside, nose tackle of the defense. That penalty is declined.
And it was Alfonso Boone, the nose tackle. Bernie Kukar, the referee, and the Packers will have the first down as they decline the penalty.
Guys, that hard count was so good it almost made me jump down here. Brett Favre has a weapon with his hard count, and he's going to be doing that all day, trying to keep this defense of the Chicago Bears off balance.
Especially when they're enthusiastic and they want to really prove something early in the year. They'll get ready to jump. So it'll be first down and 10 at the 13-yard line. And here is Amon Green. And Green again inside the 10. He was a workhorse, came out of the game. The field, and a glorious day. Rex Grossman making his 5th NFL start. And Lovie Smith doesn't want him to have to win a game on his own, but he was in that position last week. And threw an interception. There's the offensive line, a good run blocking line.
David Terrell, a big breakout game last week at the wide receiver spot.
First down at the 26 for Rex Grossman. And they send the tight end Desmond Clark in motion. And on the pass caught by Dustin Lyman, the second tight end in the opening lineup, picking up 6 yards on first down. The linebacker Niall Diggs making the tackle. Defensively for the Packers with Bob Slowick, the new coordinator, and they're doing all kinds of things.
Nick Barnett, the middle linebacker. Brian Urlacher, a big fan of his style of play. Another converted safety down in the middle.
And in the secondary, Mark Roman, a big pickup from Cincinnati at strong safety. Michael Hawthorne, a good game. Remember, he playing for Mike McKenzie, who is active today. Plenty of protection for Grossman, and the pass caught by Desmond Clark, the tight end, had beaten the linebacker downfield, and a big gain for the Bears, 31 yards into Packer territory.
Good job picking up the blitz on the edge. Thomas Jones, number 20. Watch, here comes Darren Sharper right there, chops him down. That gives Rex Grossman plenty of time. Nice touch over the top of Michael Hawthorne. Desmond Clark, a vertical threat from the tight end position in this scheme that Terry Shea has, and it's going to be important. Thomas Jones and Desmond Clark have to be playmakers in the offense. There again, you see Thomas Jones. Good job of getting that shoulder through Darren Sharper's thigh. Gets him down, gets his hands out of the way.
And a first down for the Bears on the Packer 36, stunning the crowd somewhat. Thomas Jones, the running back in motion, the empty backfield and the pass, and it's intended for Jones, incomplete, and it'll be second down. Last week, Bear tight ends caught only one pass between them, and already they have caught 2. And remember, Tony Gonzalez, big man in Kansas City, Terry Shea using the KC offense now. Yeah, well, you heard the guys in the pregame show talk about the fact that Kansas City didn't have a dominant wide receiver on the outside, so they utilized Priest Holmes and Tony Gonzalez at the tight end and running back position, and that's why Thomas Jones and all those guys, Desmond Clark, Justin Lyman, they're going to have to be playmakers at their spots. Second down and 10, and the first running play, and down he goes as Thomas Jones hit by Niall Diggs. And Jones never had a chance. A loss of 1 on the play and a big hit by Diggs. Niall Diggs does a good job coming underneath. He just beats the blocks, comes back inside, and you see him get right into the hole. There's Niall Diggs right there. You see the little cross done on the outside. Missed block by number 74, Reuben Brown, turning up into the hole. He got there so quick you didn't see him. And Mike McKenzie has come in early on the first series, and the crowd mixed reaction for McKenzie. Third down and 11, so the holdout with 3 days of practice is in there, and the quick toss nearly picked off and is on the deflection. And now they rule it an incompleted pass. By a heads-up play by Darren Sharper. First down on the 23-yard line, and the pitch to Amon Green outside. Green has running room. He stopped, and the Bears defense stopped, and he winds up with 14 yards. This guy is a machine, and the Packers picking up where they left off, keeping the ball on the ground effectively. You talk about the fact that they can run the ball or pass the ball, but they can run the ball between the tackles, counter plays, and things like that. Now they get on the perimeter right away. Watch number 22, Nick Lucci, your fullback. Watch him seal the outside. He gets on the outside, and it just disappears. There is nobody out there. He gets to the outside, and Amon Green, when he turns the corner, there is not a Bear defender on the perimeter.
Looked like Brian Urlacher underestimated his speed also, Moose. He was underneath the play on that last one. Tony Fisher, and moving the defense several yards, picking up 6 yards on the play with Ogunleye making the favor of the Packers. And the Bears starting on the 20-yard line. Handoff to Thomas Jones. Oh, Jones, who scored 2 touchdowns, gets tripped up. Otherwise, he would have had a lot more. Nick Barnett making the play in the open field. Yeah, Thomas Jones, he was going to be outside. He had a blocker on the perimeter player there. You see, they're bringing the pressure up onto this side. Chicago does a good job. They've got their run play called away from it. Come out, kick out, Al Harris. There's Thomas Jones. Nick Barnett just gets him tripped up. Here's the guy down here. He's blocked. That was almost a big running play for the Chicago Bears. Second down and 8. And play action for Rex Grossman. Will never get it off. And he was down before he got rid of the ball. Niall Diggs off to a big start today for the Green Bay Packers, and a loss of 7. And it'll be 3rd and long. The linebackers continuing to make plays. Here's Niall Diggs right here.
It's kind of easy to see right there. Reuben Brown stays on the down guy too long, number 74. He's being a good teammate and helping out, but he's got to bounce back outside once he sees Niall Diggs coming on the blitz.
3rd down and 15. And Grossman getting time and open, and making the catch is Bobby Wade. So given time, Rex Grossman looks like he has the touch, Moose, and an 18-yard pickup and move the sticks.
There's 84, Bobby Wade coming to the inside, and now look, going to the corner route right there. There's something that they must have seen on film, because that's a second big play on a corner route. And there's protection again. Everybody that's coming is blocked up. And that is a good job for an offensive group, the coordination between backs, running backs, and tight end in a new system against a pressure-oriented defense.
1st down on the 33. And an open hole for Thomas Jones. And Jones bullying his way to the 45, gaining 13 yards. Thomas Jones, with his 3rd team in his 5-year career, was with Tampa Bay last year. Began his career with the Arizona Cardinals.
Held their position, they also would have been fine.
1st down and 10. Bears on their 46-yard line and rolling out and completing the pass to a wide open Justin Lyman. The tight ends playing a big role in this first quarter, Moose. On offense for the Bears, an 8-yard pickup with Darren Sharper making the tackle as the Bears once again move into Packer territory and are 2 yards shy of the first.
Well, misdirection is another good way to get some good offensive yardage when you play a team that has so much pressure like the Packers. And they don't just pressure on 3rd down. The one thing Mike Sherman wanted was more pressure on 1st and 2nd down. Right there, they get flow moving one direction, boot out the other way, and there goes the tight end into the flat, wide open.
2nd down and 2 on the 46 of the Packers. Here comes the blitz up the middle, and Grossman backing up and completing the pass to Bobby Wade, his 2nd catch of the game, and Wade is knocked out of bounds at the 27 by Michael Hawthorne. So all the tricks and all the moves are paying off for the Bears right now.
You see all the flow goes to the left. There goes Rex Grossman back to the right. What a nice job of delivering the ball, because he's got big defensive linemen in his face. Bobby Wade downfield. You got to get that ball tucked away. Aaron Campman hustling all the way downfield. But it looks as though the Bears have found what they want to do in the passing game. If they're going to drop back into the pocket, they're going to look for that corner route. Otherwise, they're running some misdirections and moving the pocket with Rex Grossman.
19-yard pickup, and it may not always be David Terrell as the chief receiver. They got a lot of guys to go to. 1st down for the Bears. Thomas Jones thrown for a loss. Niall Diggs, who's having a sensational first quarter for the Packers, knocks Jones back in a loss of 2 on the play.
You talk about a blitzing defense, and a lot of people think it's only in the passing game, but when you've got all these guys moving around and you can't really figure out where they're going to be, here comes pressure off the slot with Michael Hawthorne. There's Niall Diggs again from the linebacker position, feeling his way through. It just disrupts what you're trying to do, blocking the run game for the offensive lineman.
2nd down and 12. Back to the 29-yard line. They show blitz again. Picked up, and Grossman's pass, and it's intercepted. Darren Sharper, with no Bear receiver in the neighborhood, picks it off inside the 3rd career pick. And the Packers get it back on the 4-yard line. Here is Amon Green. Tell you, there's no backing in the Packers when you have an Amon Green. He gets 8 up the middle with Mike Green and Joe Odom bringing him down.
He gets the ugly yards, too. He'll have a run that doesn't look like it went for anything. And then all of a sudden you look up and it's 2nd down in 6. He gets 4 yards that looked like nothing. Right there, just the ability for him to change direction. He is in the hole, and that is the concern for the Chicago Bears defense, because with this counterplay, it can break anywhere. And they have got to be true in their assignments in this one-gap defense. They've got to make sure every hole is filled, or Amon Green's going to find that opening.
7 carries, 59 yards for Green, and they're going to go back to Green, and the tackle is made at the 9-yard line, close to the first of the game, as an extra lineman up front, and a couple of injuries for the Bears that we'll tell you about. Play action for Brett Favre on 1st down. He's got a lot of time for Javon Walker, and Walker makes the catch. Between 2 defenders, perfectly placed, 44 yards for the old man, can still do it. I guess we know that.
That's just an unbelievable throw. He's got two defenders right there. There's the play action because the run game's been so effective. Bobby Gray, number 25, and Charles Tillman, number 33, are there, but that is just dropped right over the top. And Javon Walker, who dropped a slant, an easy play, makes a great catch there over the shoulder, coming straight over the top. Brett Favre, I tell you what, that is something special right there.
And as far as the Bears, Tank Johnson, and a number 2 pick from Washington, in for Alfonso Boone, who came out with a knee injury. Gandy has also been replaced on the other side. Meanwhile, Donald Driver, with his first reception of the game, picks up 8.5 yards with McQuarters defending him. So the big play for Brett Favre, and as he pointed out, they had Amon Green doing it all against Carolina, but now Favre gets into the act as he always does against Chicago.
And it's the play action. I mean, the ability, you have to respect the run, you have to respect Amon Green, and then all of a sudden you've got Javon Walker going 40 yards downfield. And now look at this drive. The first 15 plays, we've got 11 runs. Now we come out, we've hit one big pass play and followed it up with another completion.
And the pitch to Amon Green. Green breaks a couple of tackles. Yeah, you're right, Tony. You got to gang tackle him. One or two guys grasping it won't get it done as he's down at the 25 by Tommy Harris.
He'll take your shoulder right out of the socket if you let him.
The surprising thing is when you see him, you don't expect him to have that much power and that much strength. There's Mark Tauscher out in front, Nick Lucci. Those are some big bodies out in front of him. Watch right here, though. He's got that little gap, and as he bursts through, that's Tommy Harris, a defensive tackle that gets a hold of his jersey, and he just drags him 4 more yards down the field.
So the Packers now on the Bears' 25-yard line, and here is Amon Green. And Green gets a couple of yards, and right now for a game break, let's rejoin James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Dick, Carolina trying to rebound from last week. Take a look at Delhomme, spun around by Monty Beasley, throws it up for grabs. Guess who's there? Chris Mangum, just like the coaches drew it up, and Carolina on top, 7-3, that in the first. Back to Dick, Daryl, and Tony.
These quarterbacks from Louisiana, they have no fear of throwing that ball into areas. Brett Favre historically has always had that down in the southern part, down when he was at Southern Miss. And Jake Delhomme reminds you a lot of him. He's not afraid to try and put the ball in a spot that the coaches cringe when it comes off his hand.
Boy, Panthers playing shorthanded and taking the lead in KC. Pretty good work. And the handoff to Fisher, and Fisher is down, a loss of about 3 yards on the play. And that was Michael Haynes, rangy defensive lineman, at a loss of 3 yards. For Fisher, right now, as far as run and pass, the Packers have run 14 times and passed 6.
Defensive coordinator Ron Rivera right there. This is going to have to be the group that carries this team right now, and they've got their hands full this afternoon. You see them; they've come off the goal line in this drive. This drive started back at the 4-yard line, so you expect run. And what's the first thing that Green Bay does? They go for a home run with Brett Favre and jumpstart this entire drive.
Third down and a little more than 10 from the 25, and there is Favre dumping it off to Tony Fisher, and Fisher is stopped. Bears doing a terrific job of short-circuiting the Packer drive when they had the momentum going on that big pass to Walker. Loss of 1 thanks to R.W. was the Bears' name back in 1921. First down. Up the middle is Thomas Jones. Jones with a great burst of running, but Moose, he's getting an opening off the left side. Picks up 19.
They're doing what they had to do. Here comes the blitz again. You're going to see him kind of cross in the middle. There goes Niall Diggs to the left, and here comes Hannibal Navy's Nick Barnett right here. He gets caught up in the wash. That ball is going to break all the way back that way. He can't get back into that void, and that's what they're going to have to do when these guys are putting all this pressure up front, getting on that same plane. They've got to break some big runs, and they are very excited about Thomas Jones. This could be, you know, sometimes a change of scenery is what a guy needs, and I really think that's going to be the case for Thomas Jones in Chicago.
Third time may be a charm for him, you're right. Had a career-high 2 touchdowns last week. First down into Green Bay territory, and a good catch made by Brian Johnson, the fullback, who was acquired by trade from the Washington Redskins, and the Bears, lo and behold, get another first down, 14-yard pickup. This is a different Chicago Bear defense than what we've seen, isn't it?
Well, you know, offensively, they're going to try and get down the field vertically. It's not going to be that controlled passing game we saw with John Shoup. We've already seen evidence of that to this point, some deep corner routes, but, you know, they'll come back and hit the little flat route to the fullback. There's a lot of different things they're doing. And let me tell you, I played in a system similar to what they're implementing here. It is very effective when all these guys find out how exactly they fit into it.
3 wide receivers at the top of the picture, but Thomas Jones gets the call, and a good tackle made by Nick Barnett. and Jones held to a 1-yard gain. Right now for a game break, let's go back to Los Angeles and James Brown. Jamie.
All right, take a look at this. Hey, Dick, this looks like the old Kurt Warner play action. Look at this laser here. 38-yard pass to Tim Carter. That in the Meadowlands knocks it up with the Redskins at 7. Michael Vick's exciting 14-yard run sets up this 2-yard touchdown run by Warren Dunn. 14-0 Atlanta back to Dick Stockton.
Atlanta continues to roll, JB, and on second down, the end around to Bobby Wade, and Wade being chased by the cornerback Al Harris going out of bounds, but the Bears pick up another first down. Moose, this is a very entertaining Chicago offense compared to recent years. Razzle and dazzle, to say the least.
Preseason.
Justin Gage was the receiver. And now Thomas Jones started out as a wide receiver coming in the backfield, and here's Grossman. Grossman completes it to the fullback, and he gets in for the touchdown. Brian Johnson with his second catch on the drive. And the Bears have taken a 6-3 lead. An 11-yard touchdown pass for Grossman.
I tell you, this is such a good design play. All the receivers clear right there. There goes Brian Johnson. But look at everybody run with Thomas Jones. Thomas Jones runs on a flat route. You see him. He's going to come across. He's on the motion. Here he goes. Now watch everybody run this way with him when he comes out. And there goes Brian Johnson right in. You got 3 Packer defenders who
get the touchdown.
Packers with a first down on the 31. And here is Amon Green. And Green with picking up 7 or 8 on first down seems automatic for Amon Green, who has now gained 80 yards in 11 carries. Lance Briggs, the linebacker, making the stop for Chicago.
It's strange. I mean, it doesn't look like anything special. You get up, you turn around, you're walking back to the huddle, you glance up at the board, and you're in great position. It's 2nd and 3. I mean, it's just amazing. Nothing glamorous, but just great hard-nosed running the football.
And it's perfect for Brett Favre, who he can pass or run. This time they call run, and the Bears are there to snuff it out. Brian Urlacher seeking out Green, and a no gain on the play. And it'll be 3rd down and short.
And this is what I'm talking about when Amon Green finishes a run. This is Brian Urlacher. Okay, he's going to come up. He's going to meet him right in the hole, right here. And look who goes forward. Amon Green. He's sneaky strong. I mean, you're talking, look at that. That is perfect form by Brian Urlacher. He can't do it much better, but he is so strong in his hips. He just lunges forward and gets that extra 1.5 yards.
3rd down and 2, 4 wide receivers. There's that hard count, but the Bears got back. Short drop, and the pass to the out, caught by Robert Ferguson. First down at the 45, and for another game break, again, here's James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Dick, it was a pass interference call on Carolina that gave Kansas City the ball at the 1, making it way too easy for Priest Holmes with his 4th touchdown of the season, and Kansas City up by 3 in the 2nd. Back to Dick Stockton.
All right, JB, and of course, talking to Terry Shea yesterday, he says we're looking for a Priest Holmes type, and he says we always tracked Jones, Thomas Jones, when he was in Kansas City, now with the Bears.
Yeah, Priest coming off that hip injury, they weren't sure if he was going to be able to be 100%, so they had looked at Thomas Jones as a possible replacement then.
First down, going deep for Donald Driver, and the Bears were closer, and we have an interception. Mike Green returning it for Chicago. And Mike Green with the interception, and the Bear bench seeing the defense playing big here, throwing it up for grabs, it seemed. Favre going for Driver.
He's trying to make a big play all the way downfield for Driver, but Mike Green knows it. He gets back, makes a heck of a catch for the interception.
On the Colts. Rolling out on the fake, and the shovel pass to William Henderson, and the Bears finally bring down the Packer fullback Henderson inside the 30, but not before he picks up 13 yards, Odom downfield, and always when you're looking everywhere else, William Henderson comes up with a big play.
Yeah, he was supposed to have been replaced in the lineup by Nick Lucci for the last couple of years, but he just keeps on doing his thing, and I tell you what, he does not get enough credit. It's tough in the NFC now. You've got some good fullbacks with Fred Beasley in San Francisco and Corey Schlesinger up in Detroit. William Henderson has been very, very good for a long time for the Packs.
First down on the 28 of the Bears. And here's Green. Green getting inside the 25. And Mike Brown and Mike Green after a 4-yard pickup. And when you hear in the background the Bears yelling 71, that is for Kevin Barry, the defensive tackle who goes in as a tight end. They call it the U71 formation for protection or as an eligible receiver.
And they have thrown some passes off of that personnel group. But, you know, haven't gotten Kevin Barry down the field yet to catch a pass, but they have thrown it out of that situation. You know, he's probably going to Tom Rosley saying, hey, when we get down in that red zone, we got to come up with something where Brett boots out and throws it to me in the end zone.
This is a simple handoff to Amon Green, who will be 2 yards or so short of the first down. We have under 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Brett Favre, very accurate, 8 for 10. The one interception, as you pointed out, did not hurt the Packers. In all intents and purposes, a punting situation. But you have to say the Bears have done a solid job, and they've done a solid job in the red zone defensively.
They really have. They have. The Pack has gotten down here a couple of times, but only 3 points to show for it right now.
3rd and 2. Here is Green. Green will get the first down. And he drags Ogunleye with him. So it'll be a first down inside the 15 after the 7-yard pickup by Amon Green.
The confidence that they have in their offensive line and their running game. We saw last week against Carolina that 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, they're running the football for the first down, and it's because of this guy. And watch him let the play develop in front of him. As soon as he sees that hole, but right there, he explodes right through. Look at him get his shoulders square. And again, running through arm tackles and always falling forward after contact.
Think he'll get 100 today? Well, we have 2:20 remaining in the half. He has 95 already. First down on the 13-yard line, a chance for more. And there's the patience again. He's got over 100. And more important, appears to have a first down for the Packers as he is driven out of bounds. Mike Wall with a terrific tackle, the left guard for the Packers, club record. But the Packers are thinking 6 right now. They have a first and goal at the 2-yard line. Looking to regain the lead. And here's Green, hit, fumbles, and is picked up by Mike Brown. Mike Brown picking up Amon Green's fumble and may go all the way. 95 yards for the touchdown. No penalty flag back. And it was Brian Urlacher who hit Green in the backfield, lost the ball, and Brown recovers it and scores. What a shocker.
What a big turnaround. The Bears had a turnaround like this go against them last week in Detroit on a blocked field goal. Amon Green going in. There's Brian Urlacher, strips it loose, and then there's Mike Brown to scoop and score right there. Brett Favre tries to get out there to force him back to the middle. But look at the Bear defenders all get downfield to block all the Packers off. What a great job of hustle.
It might have been kind of young at the time. First down for the Packers on the 17. Pump fake by Favre, and this one is caught. And the pass caught by Bubba Franks, and a gain of 9. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker has up to the second scores and stats. 2nd and 1, the slant, perfect. First down, Javon Walker, and in 2 plays, the Packers are up to the 44-yard line. And the fake end around, and Grossman gets hit, gets it off to Thomas Jones, and Jones trying to thread through the defense, and James Lee, the nose tackle, is starting in place of the injured Grady Jackson, and that was a big minus for the Packers coming into today, and a 7-yard pickup, and it looked like Lee got shaken up a bit.
Yeah, he doesn't look 100% getting back to the defensive huddle, and they cannot afford to have James Lee go out because, as you mentioned, they're already thin there.
Picking up 7 yards, 2nd down and 3. Again, 2 tight ends line up for the Bears. Jones, short of the first down, as he is stopped at about the 30 by Lee, the nose tackle. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Bears. Thomas Jones scoring 2 touchdowns last week and 67 yards rushing. So Jones is the #1 tailback. Anthony Thomas, who missed all of preseason with a torn oblique muscle, they could use him as a change of pace. Packers tightening up on 3rd and 1. They go to Jones. He finds an opening. And Thomas Jones racing for the end zone. One man has a shot, and that is Al Harris, who makes the grab. So on a 3rd and 1 and a tight formation, Thomas Jones bursts forward for 54 yards, and it's first down at the 16.
Well, they've got everybody packed in the middle. Here's where do you see all the down blocks, the angles created? There's your key block right there on Nick Barnett. And again, we talked about Amon Green's patience. Great patience by Thomas Jones right there. And then the hustle by Al Harris. He's on the opposite side of the field. Here comes 31. Look at him run him down from the other side of the field. Great hustle, Al Harris.
And Jones with 100 yards even on 12 carries. And it'll be first down for the Bears on the Packers 16. And they go again to Jones, and another first down. Thomas Jones, the tailback, going up the middle as if the Bears defense not even there, getting 11 yards.
Well, the Packers had everybody up in the defensive front on the long run on the 3rd and short. Here they're playing kind of a standard set. Nick Barnett right there. He's going to overrun this play, and the vision of Thomas Jones now to be able to get backside on him right there.
What it is second down and goal, about a foot away. And there is the touchdown by Thomas Jones, capping what has been almost a one-man gang on that offensive drive, getting 54 yards and then a 1-yard run and really shredding the Packer defense.
Well, what happened there, Green Bay thought they saw somebody move. Look at Darren Sharper, number 42 over here, number 23, Darren Sharper, and 42. They're pointing, trying to get him. Here comes Darren Sharper into your screen. They thought that they had moved. They all stand still at that point, and the Bears continue to finish the play.
Time left and abandon the running style, which has worked so far, and he's not on first down. Amon Green gets a couple of yards, but there's no question that Brett Favre has excelled against the Chicago Bears, and all of these marks, career bests against the Chicago Bears, including a 20-4 record. But then you have to look at the flip side. Lovie Smith has had success with the teams he's been against this club.
Well, you know, the one thing that I had forgotten about was this defense was constructed in Tampa Bay with Tony Dungy and Herman Edwards and Lovie Smith and a number of other coaches to stop Green Bay, to shut down Brett Favre, because if Tampa Bay wanted to achieve what they were going to do, they had to knock the Pack off back in the early and mid-90s. The same task that Lovie Smith talks about in Chicago now.
And the handoff to Amon Green, and that's what the Packers like to do. They like to spread the defense and hand off as they do to Green for the first down. Brian Urlacher making the tackle. Green had 103 yards at the half, now 113, but a critical fumble. So the Packers seemingly heading for a touchdown to regain the lead. Instead, the Packers found themselves trailing by more, and now it is 21-3. Favre on the out, completing to Donald Driver, and another first down. So the key ingredients for Lovie Smith, and down through the years that you talked about.
When they built it at Tampa Bay, it's the guy up front, Warren Sapp, then Derek Brooks, that weak side linebacker, and then John Lynch, their safety. You know, those were the components. And then when he moved on to St. Louis, Brian Young took Warren Sapp's spot, Tommy Polley, their weak side linebacker, and Adam Archuleta, the guy who would come down in the mix there. Now here at Chicago, he's got Tommy Harris, who he drafted in the first round, Lance Briggs, and Mike Green, but he's also got Mike Brown and Brian Urlacher. So he's maybe got a little bit more right now than he's ever had at some positions.
And this pass thrown over the head of Nick Lucci, coming out of the backfield, bringing up second down and 10. But, you know, you always say, sure, it was, as you look at Ron Rivera, the defensive coordinator, sure, it was easy for Lovie Smith when he developed players like that. But now he has new players. But it seems that the system, at least what we've seen today, seems to be working.
And it's all built on trust. It's a one-gap philosophy where everybody does their job, and the ball carrier will be forced to the blocked man. And then he has to make the tackle. Tackling is very critical in this style, this philosophy. But if these guys buy into it, you've seen the success that both Tampa Bay and St. Louis have had in this system.
Second and 10 from the 35. Green cutting upfield, stopped shy of the first down by 1.5 yards. 9-yard pickup. Wally Ogunleye making the tackle. Ogunleye acquired in a major trade from the Miami Dolphins. 15 sacks last year, leading the AFC, a speed pass rusher. Marty Booker went to Miami, and Booker has had success against this Green Bay club. Third down and 1. And here's Green with the first down. So you said it. And underscoring your points again, to be patient. Couple of passes, keeping the ball on the ground, and a third first down.
You just don't want to get away from your game plan, and yet you're down by 18 right now, but there's plenty of time, and this is where their strength is. And you see the athleticism and the power and all these guys, and then Amon Green just moving the pile forward, but you don't want to panic. This is a veteran group, a great coaching staff. They know what it is. There's going to be a sense of urgency now, but there's no panic in this Green Bay Packer team.
They're up to their own 47-yard line, very quietly moving the ball, and now taking a shot downfield for Ferguson, and overthrown, coverage by R.W. McQuarters. So a couple of short passes, getting first downs, keeping Amon Green, and then getting the chance to go deep. But incomplete, 2nd and 10.
You get out near midfield, and that's the area that a lot of offensive coordinators in the league will take their shot vertically to try and hit that big play. You've just dug yourself out of a hole. You've worked efficiently out to this point in the field, and hey, let's take a shot right now and see if we can get a big chunk of yards.
You know, Moose, yesterday when we talked to Lovie Smith, the biggest thing that he was concerned about was gap control. He stressed that over and over again. And when you look at the Chicago's defense, they have gap control. But you look at Green Bay, the gaps are wide open all over the field, and obviously you can see the difference on the scoreboard.
Javon Walker on the reception, Goose, after the blitz, and Favre picking it up. Mike Green making the tackle and a 9-yard pickup. And right now the Packers inexorably moving the ball. Still a lot of time, 8:10 to go in the third. And they now have the ball at the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about a yard. Javon Walker, as you look at Favre's numbers, since the first quarter, Walker has 4 catches for 80 yards. Fisher diving and very close. Brett Favre, everyone talking about, well, how many more years is he going to go? It is a first down for the Packers. When will he retire? It looks like that Brett Favre, but when we talked to him yesterday, still has that twinkle in his eye, and it looks like he loves the game more, and I think that retirement has to be on the back burner for him now.
I think Mike Sherman did a great thing this year in camp. He didn't make him go 2-a-days all the time. He gave him a day off here and there. He didn't make him go to the meetings every night. He cut him loose, at some point. It kept him fresher. He wanted to start the season a little bit fresher. Felt he was tired coming into the season last year.
Tony Fisher going outside, slipped and is down. Urlacher was there, but Fisher initially lost his footing. No gain on the play with under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Very quiet here if you've just joined us here at Lambeau Field, for good reason. The Bears lead the Packers 21-3 as the Bears look to end a 7-game winning streak by Green Bay. And they have totally dominated the Bears ever since Brett Favre became the quarterback. 2 tight end alignment, 2nd down and 9. And the pass batted down at the line by Ogunleye. So it'll be 3rd down and long, and the 12th play of the drive coming up.
When you run this type of play action, you've got to get the end man on the line of scrimmage. You've got to get his hands down. William Henderson flashes in his face. Amon Green comes up, but he doesn't get him to the ground. That gives Adewale Ogunleye the opportunity to get up and get his hands in the throwing lane. You got to cut that guy down so he can't jump up and bat the ball away.
3rd down and 9. Packers are 5 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. 2 for 2 on this drive. Favre operating out of the shotgun. Gets time, and the pass thrown underneath. Close for the first down to Tony Fisher.
Boy, got
and
bad
maybe a yard. Yeah. Now so it'll be 2nd down and 20 instead of a Packer touchdown. They have been stopped at the altar a couple of times already today. Out of the backfield, Tony Fisher trying to juke his way, and he is dropped at the 20-yard line by Brian Urlacher. And now for an update and a game break, whatever you want to call it, it's James Brown.
Falcons were up 17-7, Dick, but take a look. Mark Bulger pump fakes here, hooks up. Look at the adjustment by Torrey Holt. Nice adjustment indeed. He's got 7 catches, 90 yards on the afternoon, and it is now a 3-point game. Falcons nursing a 17-14 lead. Back to Dick Stockton.
All right, thank you very much, JB. So the Rams trying to win one on the road.
You know, the Rams they've started to lose players. They had that group together back in '99 when they won the Super Bowl. They got back there again, but a lot of those key components have departed from that team.
3rd and 13. Brett Favre getting time, going to a wide open Robert Ferguson, and no problem with that one. Scored in their last possession on a 19-play drive. Will start from the 30-yard line, and Brett Favre connects for close to a first down to Donald Driver, and he wasn't down. Not down by contact, and now they say he was back at the 41, but he will collect the first down.
What a nice set by the Green Bay Packer offense. They overload the right side into a situation where it looks like they're definitely going to run that direction. They've got Bubba Franks, they've got David Martin. 71. They bring Nick Lucci over there. They motion him into the backfield, but everybody stays on that side. I mean, look at this over here. Here's all your big bodies. You've got to be thinking run to the right, and then they come back, throw the quick slant to the backside. That's where they get you. You know, that you're thinking one thing, and they have the ability to run and throw the ball very effectively.
From the 41, and there is Amon Green, hemmed in, actually got another yard, but lost on the play. And good pursuit by Alex Brown, who put the initial pressure on. By the way, word about Mike Brown, the safety who had to come off the field and into the locker room. A heat-related cramps is the diagnosis, and he might be back. Todd Johnson has come in at free safety in his stead.
It could be the first time everybody's had heat-related cramps at Lambeau.
Well, it's like swim, you know, go in for a little dip. That's that kind of weather we have here, unusual for any time.
It's been beautiful.
Beautiful. Second down and 12. Three wide receivers, Tony Fisher there as well, and the throw to nobody in particular.
There's two big plays right there by the Bear defense. The first one on that running play, just getting the penetration, forcing them to lose yardage, and then right there a miscommunication between Robert Ferguson and Brett Favre puts him in a 3rd and long.
Third down and 12, Moose, you're right, and here's a situation if the Packers want to get that momentum going as they did with the touchdown and stopping the Bears.
Against Carolina Monday night, they converted a bunch of these. I mean, 3rd and 10 plus, they were 5 out of 6 on 3rd down, which is absolutely amazing.
They're 7 of 12 today, which is pretty good. And here is Favre as he flings it to Tony Fisher. Fisher looking for running room, and he is not going to make it as he is knocked out of bounds at the 46 by Charles Tillman. The scoreboard for the Packer fans and a lot of Bear fans here as well. Chicago taking over on the 20 early here in the 4th quarter. Grossman's pass complete, and first down to the tight end Desmond Clark. And for a game break, let's return to James Brown in LA.
Hey, Dick, take a look at Jake Delhomme being picked off for the 2nd time today by Eric Warfield. He takes it back 43 yards. It was intended for Ricky Proehl. Instead, Warfield with a touchdown, 17-14 KC over Carolina. Back to Dick Stockton.
Boy, a nip and tough game, JB, in Kansas City. A very tough home crowd. Carolina trying to come back. And on the fake end around, handoff to Anthony Thomas. And this is the 3rd series that Thomas has been in since Thomas Jones went over 100 yards, 6-yard pickup that time. As you look at next week's Sunday schedule.
This is the first time I think we played in Green Bay and didn't talk about Brats.
Well, let's talk about him, Goose.
Now, I was just really impressed by Green Bay's training table there when we had a meeting with him on Friday.
When it comes to food, we serve it up to you first. 2nd down and 4. And this is going to be another fake on the end around, and Anthony Thomas has a first down. Moose, it looked like identical plays back-to-back, gets 8 and a first down to the 46.
Yeah, Anthony Thomas, kind of a forgotten man in this offense, but you know, he's your offensive rookie of the year just a couple years ago. There's Thomas Jones on the sideline. Doesn't appear to be anything wrong with Thomas Jones, just giving Anthony Thomas some time, and he's taking advantage of it. He's running really well right now.
Anthony Thomas, good receiver out of the backfield as well, as is Jones, who has gained 116 yards today and has scored a touchdown. First down on the 46, and there is Thomas slipping a little bit and picking up close to 5 yards in any event as he gets into Packer to right tackle for the Bears. Not agreeing with that call, so 5 yards stepped off will create 3rd and 14, and that is the first penalty against the Bears. Last week they committed 15. The 3 were declined. 12 penalties, an incredible amount, including 3 personal fouls. And Lovie Smith told us yesterday that will never happen again. I don't know about that, but maybe 3 personal fouls. 3rd down and 14. And Grossman gets hit, and it is ruled an incompleted pass. The official, the referee, indicated an incomplete pass.
Our touchdown. So really not only shutting Green Bay down, but also getting some points for the Bear team.
Thomas Jones is rested and back in the lineup for Chicago and gets the call on 1st down and picks up a couple. In case you're wondering, the Bears are averaging just under 7 yards an attempt rushing. And of course, a lot of that could have to do with the fact that Grady Jackson, out with a dislocated kneecap, a very big run defender, replaced in this game.
Also this aggressive style of Green Bay's defense. You get on that same level and you get a guy picked up, you create a little scene. We saw Thomas Jones do it twice. He breaks that initial wave of defenders and there's nobody there. And they've ripped off a couple of big runs in the running game.
So James Lee, the nose tackle today, 2nd down and 6. Grossman on the rollout, looking to run, and he'll get the 1st down as he slides for the 1st down. Last week he didn't slide. This week he does, and here he is, his debut in Lambeau Field. And tell you, look at a guy who awed playing against some of these teams he's faced in the NFL.
Yeah, but this is one of the things that Lovie Smith wants him to work on, and Terry Shea. He took a lot of hits last week at the end of the runs trying to get some extra yardage. You got to be smart. He's got enough yards for the 1st down. Get yourself down, protect yourself, live the play another day. Last week, quarterbacks aren't the guys that are supposed to move the pile at the end of the run.
1st down, as you look at the offensive leaders crossing the screen. The ball is at midfield, and the handoff to Jones. Jones picking up about 3 yards on 1st down with Barnett making the tackle. Rex position. So coming off the field is Cledius Hunt, replaced by Colin Jenkins. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Bears on the Packer 47. Here's Jones, bounces off the defender, dives close to the 1st down, and appears to have it at the 40.
At this point, he'd probably like to be a little bit short. Get yourself another play.
Well,
take some more time off the clock.
They're going to measure.
You know, so when you look at this offense and you don't see that, to him, it's not a problem.
Well, you said maybe they're better off not getting the 1st down. They didn't. So it's 3rd down and inches.
But now they have to get it.
Yeah. After the clock was stopped, and here is Thomas Jones, 1st down.
That's too easy.
And 6:25 and running. 1st down Bears, and now for a game break, let's once again check in with James Brown.
Dick, 2 fumbles by Clinton Portis led to Giants scores. Portis trying to make up on the receiving end of that 13-yard laser from Patrick Ramsey, although he was called for taunting with that spike right there. But Washington within 6, 20, 14 Giants. Back to Dick Stockton.
Joe Gibbs against the Giants, and that NFC coaching Hall of Fame in so many ways, as far as many of them. Of course, Tom Coughlin right now is on the outs, you would have to say. 1st down on the 36-yard line. Here is Thomas Jones as he gets inside the 35-yard line, a gain of 3. So in his 20th carry of the game, Thomas Jones has 137 yards.
Yeah, and we need to pay some credit to the Chicago Bears offensive line because of the ability to run the way you just talked about, the stats with Thomas Jones. But also, right now in this drive, the Green Bay Packer defense knows what the Bears have to do. They have to run the ball to take time off the clock, and they can't stop them. The Bears are imposing their will on these guys.
Averaging 6.5 yards per carry. Backs up what you're saying. Cledius Hunt back in the game at tackle. 2nd down and 7, and on the end around, Bobby Wade cutting upfield. Another 1st down for the Bears inside the 25-yard line, picking up 10 yards. Huge chunks of yards for the Chicago Bears almost every play.
Darren Sharper reads this. He puts himself in a position to make the play. Here comes the reverse. There's Bobby Wade right there. There's Darren Sharper, 42, stepping up. That's just a good individual effort. He makes 2 guys miss on the outside. He makes Darren Sharper overcommit, and then he beats Al Harris back across his face. The Green Bay defense does a good job snuffing this play out, but that's a great individual effort by Bobby Wade.
Boy, the Bears are throwing everything at the Packers and using everybody. Look at this 7-0 rushing to passing, and now make it 8 as Jones cutting to the outside, inside the 15, diving for perhaps another 1st down, chased by Michael Hawthorne, and a 9-yard gain as you look at the clock, which stops with 4:16 to go on a Green Bay timeout. the Bears are manhandling the Packers.
They really are. I mean, they know what is coming. They know they're running the ball to take time off the clock, and they cannot stop this Bear offense.
4:09 to go.
Put that together with his comments that he made the opening, the day he got the job in Chicago.
And the end around to David Terrell. Fumbles the ball. And the Packers have it. Packers have it. And it's Nick Barnett who finally picked it up and ran it a few yards. And a big break for the Green Bay Packers.
Kansas City back to Dick Stockton.
All right, thank you very much, JB. So Mike Brown has been carted off. 95-yard fumble touchdown return. The key play of the game today. It is 2nd down and 10. Brett Favre trying to bring the Packers closer, and this pass is overthrown and intercepted by Bobby Gray. And Bobby Gray returning it into Packer territory. You talk about that 4th and 26 nightmare, and this was a pick. Center fielder all the way was Gray.
Yeah, this one just floated on Brett right here. He's got Bubba Franks right there in the middle of the field. To see how open he is, he just sails it over his head, and Bobby Gray just coming in for Mike Brown. You know, I'm sitting here thinking, hey, go after 25. He's just coming in deep. He's playing deep half. Take a shot at him, and he comes up making the play.
That's what you would think. And Lovie Smith said, we know that Brett Favre is going to put some up there. We've got to make sure we make that interception, 2nd of the game, and a big one, and could be a backbreaker, of course, as Gray returns at 31 yards, and the Bears on the Green Bay 36-yard line with 3:44 to go. Some of the fans start to make their way toward the exits. And here is the handoff to Thomas Jones. And Jones, adding to his total, picks up nearly 5 yards on the play. Certainly in their defense, though, they said they've got to carry us, and the defense has today. 2nd and 6. And on the rollout is Grossman. And he slides at the 30-yard line for a couple of yards. Paris Lennon making the tackle. Mistakes by the Green Bay Packers have helped do them in. That he just kicked it. This time he hooked it.
Is that the old double cross, Dick?
Got it right, I got it left. Like the U.S. Ryder Cup effort. Here is the pass out of the backfield to Amon Green. And Lance Briggs making the tackle after a 7-yard pick. Game on Fox. 2nd half of our doubleheader. 3rd and 3. Favre's pass caught by Javon Walker. And goes out of bounds, stops the clock at 2:03. It's a 1st down for Green Bay, just shy of midfield with Tillman on the hit.
You never can relax. And the one thing that Chicago is going to do during this process with Lovie Smith is learn how to finish games, learn how to close them out. You know, coming on the road and being able to win here is huge, but they've got to finish this game. You know, they've had 2 opportunities now to really kind of put the game away and be able to relax and enjoy the last few seconds, the last few minutes, and they haven't done that. You still have a sense of uneasiness with the position that Brett Favre has got the Packers in.
Putting pressure on Brett Favre, and the pass caught by Donald Driver. Driver just snatched the ball away from the defender and gets down to the 36-yard line. And it was Bobby Gray, the defender.
And they haven't been able to close it out.
No, they got to sweat it out. 1st and 10 for the Packers at the Bear 36. Showing blitz is Chicago, and here they come. And Brett Favre answers it with a completed pass to Robert Ferguson. Ferguson getting in the 15 and does not get out of bounds. And the clock continues.
So at least you extend the game to the onside kick. And yeah, you have to go get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but you're still alive.
4th down and 8. They can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. And here is Brett Favre being chased and flings the ball away incomplete. That was a coverage sack if there ever was one. Brian Urlacher gets the Favre, but he had no one to go to, and the Chicago Bears seemingly will hold on, but there's a penalty flag down right where Favre was hit.
Intentional grounding.
Yes, intentional grounding as Favre was headed down and just...
Intentional grounding, number 4 of the offense. That's also loss of down.
So
First
that
down,
will
Chicago.
give the Bears the ball, and no timeouts left for Green Bay, and here's the rush.
Well, Chicago's not going to sit back. They're going to bring a little bit of pressure right here. I agree with the call. It's 4th down, force them. You would think that in this situation a lot of people would go back and play coverage, but they get the pressure necessary. Brett Favre does not have the time to get there to find his receiver open, as you pointed out. If there's a definition of a coverage.
And that's what the Chicago Bears are about to do.
Easy to say, difficult to follow through and do, especially with the history they've had over the last 10 seasons.
Today's game produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman, the associate director Charles McDonald, sideline producer Jacob Ullman, the broadcast associates Wayne Wilson and Michael Thompson, the technical producer Bob Mueller. The pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The studio technical supervisor Jack Simmons, senior producer Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Thanks to our crew up here, Chris Visser and Rick Odioso and Mike Eldridge and Charlie Dameyer. The Chicago Bears have ended a 7-game losing streak. They defeated the Green Bay Packers' Lovie Smith's first win as an NFL head coach at Lambeau Field. A stunner here, and the final score 21-10 in favor of the Bears as we send it to James Brown in LA.